everyone, and welcome to Valley View Living. My name is Megan. I have 6 children and live in the country in New South Wales, Australia. We are starting our family compound out here. I just love that has become like common terminology now, and it is pretty cool. We live on the same block with my mum. She's got 5 acres and we've got 5 acres, and we're just doing our thing, living life and learning to grow as much food as we can. So I thought it would be really fun to do a cost comparison of takeaway versus homemade organic food, because I know there is a bit of a stigma around how costly organic ingredients can be. Actually, it's not even a stigma, it's reality. It's super expensive to buy organic. It really is. Probably the best way to manage that in our budgets is to grow as much as we can for ourselves. But I know that the majority of us are juggling so many things in the day-to-day that we have to work out what has to be a priority daily, and sometimes growing food can fall on the back burner when we're just trying to get through the daily grind and keep everybody alive and educated and all of those things. So what I wanted to say first up is that buying food, buying takeaway, buying a meal for your family, my intention with this is not at all to, act as though there's some issue with that, or like that should be something to avoid, because we really do live in a very disconnected society, and families being nuclear little units expected to manage everything themselves, well, that means that we're going to burn out from time to time. It really is inevitable because we're not designed to live as independently as we do. So reaching out for a takeaway is really just reaching out for a hand to help. Let's face it. It's just buying food so that we don't have to cook it, we don't have to prepare it, and we can get our family fed. So my intention with this video is certainly not to judge using that helping hand when we need it, because we all do from time to time, and sometimes takeaway is the only legitimate option we have to get everybody fed in that moment. That all said, what I thought would be interesting is just to see, does it cost more to make this at home using the best quality ingredients that we can find, or does it cost more to have somebody else do the labor and buy the takeaway? So the couple of meals that we use regularly here are burgers, we all love burgers, and pizza. So we're going to have a look at those two today. So normally on a normal day here, we're not going to have burgers for lunch and then pizza for dinner. But for the sake of research, my family was not complaining too much about this. To make things a bit easier for me to manage, in the morning I just put both sets of dough on using the mixer there. I just went ahead and filled up both of my mixer bowls at once. I've got one for pizza dough and I've got one for burger bun dough. I didn't actually get this burger bun, either of these doughs going until it must have been 10:30, nearly 11. And yet I was still able to pull the burger bun dough together, and it rose enough and it worked by lunchtime at around 12:30. Of course, there are ways to make this even more nutritious for your family at home. If you are a sourdough baker, you will know that fermenting your pizza doughs, fermenting your burger buns, yes, you have to be a bit more organized and get them going the day before, but that is a wonderful way to do things if you are skilled in that area. I am so happy to say that finally my chickens have started laying again. I have been waiting very impatiently, and it's felt like months. I think it has been 3 to 4 months since we've received an egg at home. But then, after the shortest day of the year, as soon as things started getting a bit warmer and the days a bit longer, they started laying. So every little bit that we can grow at home helps, and I'll be able to cut down on the amount of eggs I need to buy now. which is just awesome. And we also have some chickens incubating. We've gone with Rhode Island Reds this time around. I do love them as a breed. They're just a beautiful hen. They are high production and quite friendly as well. So those are in the incubator, and I think they're about halfway done. And the kids are very eagerly checking the incubator every day to see if there's any fluffy chicks, but it will be a couple of weeks yet. So with this burger bun dough, as I say, I didn't get it going until late, and I really did need that ready for lunch. So I took it out to the dash of my car, which was the warmest proofing area I had in my home, and I just popped it on the dash of the car in the warm sunlight for about an hour, and that got me this lovely puffy dough that is doubled in size. So this recipe works well for my family. It makes 8 burger buns perfectly. So I'm just going to roll those out and start getting those baked in a nice hot oven, about 180, and they take right on 20 minutes. These look and taste especially nice if you have some sesame seeds. You can brush the top with some melted butter or a little beaten up egg, make an egg wash, brush that over the top and sprinkle on the sesame seeds. It's going to give it that real burger look, and that goes a long way, doesn't it, to impressing the family. So I actually used spelt flour in this bun dough recipe because that's what I have. That makes them just a bit more dense, but I was pleasantly surprised with how they turned out. They were still fluffy and light and really yummy. So I'm going to let the burger buns just do a second rise there. It won't take long. They'll be ready to go in the oven within maybe 20 minutes. So I've actually taken them back out to my proofing room, which is my car dashboard in the sunshine. And now I'm going to get going on these burger patties. Now I have experimented with burger patties many times over the years, adding seasonings, mixing it all up, even an egg or what have you, things like that. And I've really landed back on 100% beef mince and seasoning them extremely simply with some good sea salt and some freshly ground pepper. That actually is what the very best burger places do, alongside the fast food places do as well. That's just really what gives a burger its very beefy, meaty taste. Just using the best quality beef mince you can with salt and pepper makes it super yummy. Now we've used our home-raised beef for these beef burgers, but I have just used prices from the supermarket. If I were going to buy some organic beef mince and I wanted it as easy as I could, that would be where I would go, just the shops. But of course there are so many options online as well. And also with beef mince, I think Australian beef is really high quality, I do. And plenty of times we just eat grass-fed beef mince. It's wonderful as well. Unfortunately, we were out of mayonnaise, and I'm also out of avocado oil, so I could not whip one up for tonight's burgers. That means we didn't have any burger sauce, which is the tomato sauce, the mustard, and the mayo mixed together. But that's okay. Some of us just left our burger with the buttered bun, and others added whatever their preference of sauce or no sauce is. And that's just how it is sometimes. Now, some of my kids were going to have cheeseburgers. When I was costing this out, I did not use a full kilogram of beef mince. I costed it out that there would be 4 quote-unquote quarter pounders, so 125 gram patty for my 4 older people in my family, including my husband and myself and my 2 teens, and then 4 smaller patties of 75 grams each for my 4 youngest children, ranging in age from 1 to 8. On this night, I felt like some fried up onion. Now, if you want to go for that classic burger flavor, I think it's just diced raw onion with pickle, but I just felt like that. Aussie Bunnings weekend sausage sizzle vibe for my burger on this evening. Now, if I am wanting to go low carb or just minding my health or just not wanting to eat the bun, I find a bunless burger is so delicious. It really is tasty, and it's a great way to get in more salad as well. So I'll just put together basic salad toppings on my plate. Lettuce, pickled beetroot is amazing with that. The onion, a sliced tomato, that kind of thing. Mayonnaise is awesome with it. Did I say pickles? Yep, pickles always. And just put a burger patty, I'll probably have two in that case, on top. And I've never really felt like I'm missing out if I'm going to have the bunless burger, because it is honestly just as yummy. Now again, I'm happy to cater to my pickier eaters, and a meal like this also makes it easy as well. I have one who actually prefers just to have her beef patty on the side and have her bun plain on the plate right next to her beef patty, and that's totally easy and totally fine. As you can see, I've just put the differences up there on the screen. I actually phoned my local McDonald's and got the prices from them, which was $8.45 for a quarter pounder and $5 for a cheeseburger. So I've added those up, and yeah, there's a pretty big difference there in the price. Of course, we're paying somebody to make the meal for us, and sometimes that really is what we need. So I totally understand that. It's just good to know these figures, that this can actually be a really quite frugal and tasty dinner treat for the family. So let's come in and start pulling together dinner. We're going to make 3 large pizzas. This will fill up my family of 8 people really well. Now there's rarely any leftovers, it just tastes too good for that, but 3 pizzas here will do the whole family quite well. So the kids like me to make them a Hawaiian pizza. I just use the best ham that I can buy on my budget, and some Australian tinned pineapple, which is my preference, and cheese. Yeah, super simple, super easy. The other pizza I will also make plain cheese because it pleases everybody, grown-ups and kids alike enjoy the simplicity of that. And then I always make a grown-up style pizza, or for anyone who likes stronger flavors, but it tends to be for myself and my husband, and I'll use things like olives, If I had anchovies, I would use them because I love anchovies on pizza, more veggies and things like that. Now, I have found over my years of making my own pizza dough that being generous with olive oil is very important to make it taste really good and to help it to bake well in the oven as well. I use olive oil in the dough itself. I use olive oil on my tray, and then I'll also put some olive oil on top of the pizza dough before I put the sauce on. And that seems to help it be crisp and yummy and stop the sauce from settling into the dough too much. So in my cost comparison with pizza, I have not gone with the fast food Domino's or Pizza Hut style pizza. I've gone with the more independent local pizza shop style pizza. Now, yeah, that's generally more expensive, but it is better quality. And this is not just to throw shade on fast food pizzas, because they have their time and their place. You know, they're super cheap, or at least they used to be. I don't know about now. But they're just, in my experience, they're just not very filling. So I don't think that a homemade pizza is really that comparable to that style of pizza. So I have just looked at my local pizza place and seen what they will charge for 3 large pizzas for a family. And then I've taken the ingredients that I'm using to make these and the dough and looked at the different prices there. Pizza is just so delicious, isn't it? It's really just a yummy, family-pleasing treat. It's something that we have pretty regularly, I would say once a week. If we leave it more than a week between a pizza night, then we miss it and people are asking for it for sure. And I do find that for me personally, I'm not sure if I actually have a gluten sensitivity or if I just have a wheat sensitivity, because I'm consuming spelt flour quite regularly, which still has gluten in it, and I'm digesting it quite well. So I am happy to say that using spelt in this homemade pizza dough instead of wheat flour makes it family friendly for everyone. In my family, everyone can eat this and we've got no problems with it, which is great. So for the pizza sauce, I love to use this organic pasta sauce that I get from Coles. Woolies and Coles both have one, but the price is great. It's something like $2.50 a bottle. It's really quite affordable, and it's really something that I can use for a lot of different meals. Now for these 3 pizzas, I only had to use half a bottle, which means I can reseal that bottle, put it in the fridge and use it to make something else another night. We can have spaghetti bolognese, we can have lasagna, something like that, and use it up. How good does that pizza look, right? When I'm making pizza at home, I don't have any special gear. Those are just stainless steel trays. I've never used like a pizza stone or a pizza oven or anything like that. But I do get my oven as hot as I can, and I do preheat it for a good while before I put the pizzas in. So heat absolutely is your friend with turning out good quality pizzas at home. So all in all, for me to crunch these numbers and look at how much money I'm saving by making these family favorites at home, I found this really satisfying exercise so that I can see how worthwhile my time is in putting these together for my family. We're saving almost half of the money that we would have spent by buying it takeaway, and of course we get the better quality ingredients as well. Thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed my content, please like or comment or subscribe, and that way I will see you next time. Bye.